Hey, all, I'm Roger W. Downs from RWD Media LLC. And what we're going to do here is go over how to build an audience with Facebook ads. That would be business.facebook.com, where you can run ad campaigns on Facebook and Instagram that'll allow you to market homes and have an audience and aim it at an audience, excuse me, that is interested in actually purchasing your homes. Because you can throw up an ad on Facebook and just boost it, and it goes out to thousands upon thousands of people who may not be interested in that home. And also, not all those people are going to see those ads. So, Facebook may then issue out those ads of your homes to people who really aren't interested in purchasing a home. So, they're going to scroll right on by it, but you're still going to get dinged for the impression or the click through if they're just being curious and they're not really in the market. So, what you want to do is slim down your audience to the people who are actually in the market to purchase a home. And this is how we do it. Now, with the audience name, what I like to do is base it off the area that I'm looking to sell a home in. So, for instance, let's say Las Vegas and then home buyers. That's what I'm going to name it. So how am I going to go about doing that and finding people in Las Vegas? Well, Facebook is great for this. So what we do now, instead of going to the location and using the United States, which gives us a potential reach of 230 million people, that's everybody in the US who's on Facebook. We certainly don't want that. And I think the population of the United States is 300 million. So that means there's about 70 million people out there who are not on Facebook. But let's say we don't want to just market to the United States. We want to market to the Las Vegas area in particular. So we're going to hit X here and we're going to type in Las Vegas. And you can do the DMA or you can do the city itself. So I am going to go with the city itself, Las Vegas, Nevada. And we're going to expand this out. If you notice, it says Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to expand it out to about a 40-mile radius because people come in and out of town on a regular basis. People are commuting from that distance out, coming into Las Vegas to work or possibly for recreation, and they may be looking for a home. So you want to have it about 40 miles out. This is 39. We want 40, so we're going to be a little more specific. There we go. Now, the potential reach has now come down to 1,700,000, which is a lot better, but still, we want to make sure we find people that are looking for homes. So typically, people who are looking for homes, you want to adjust the age here. If you notice it says age right here. We want to adjust that between typically 25 and 45. Now, you can go in through Facebook on your account through business.facebook.com and find exactly who's looking for homes, but we're not getting all that. Just trust me when I say it's roughly about that age bracket because I've done that research. The gender you want to leave to all because you want it right there and you want all men and women who are looking for homes to be possible candidates to see your home that you're advertising. We'll leave the language alone in English. And now this is where it really starts to define who is going to see this ad because we're going to include people who match at least one of the following. So what I like to put in here is Zillow, because as you know, it's a huge site for people who are looking for homes. I know the information on there is typically weeks, if not months behind, but let's go with Zillow. And then Trulia. And you want to make sure it says interest, not jobs, not employer. You want interest because these are people who are interested in those websites and also their Facebook pages and finding a home. So now that we've done that, if you come back up here, the potential reach has now came down to 280,000 people. That's much more in your ballpark, right? So what we're going to do is put your ads out there to people who are between the ages of 25 to 45 who are interested in Trulia and Zillow because they're looking for a home. But the other part to that is we want to look at suggestions. First time buyer, that's a good one. And Mortgage calculator. Well, maybe not mortgage calculator because that could throw it off a little bit. A mortgage calculator could be someone who's trying to refinance their home too, so you might want to avoid that. But house hunting or homes.com. That's a website they may be interested in, so you can click on that. And then what that does is it leaves us at 290,000 people. Now that we have that, you think, well, that's a pretty good run right there, right? That scales down the audience. We didn't know there's 290,000 people. Well, here's the trick. We want to narrow your audience one more time because these are people who have shown an interest in first-time home buyers, homes.com, Trulia, or Zillow, which is great, which means they're probably looking for a home. The question is, can they afford a home? I remember when I first got married, we looked around at homes, and this was before the internet was huge. And we went and looked at homes before we even got pre-qualified at the bank, and we certainly didn't have the money back then because we were just getting started in our careers to buy a home, nor did we have the down payment. And we wasted this poor realtor's time, and it also made us feel pretty worthless because we couldn't afford a home. We were bummed out, we were stuck in that apartment, and it took us a little while to get over that letdown. So to avoid that, wasting your time showing homes to people who can't afford them, and also avoiding having someone waste their time and effort and get their dreams all excited and in an uproar only to have them smashed by the bank, you want to narrow the audience. And what I use is income. And I use income of five or the top 5%. Then we do income again, and we're going to do the top 10% and income again for the top 10 to 25%. These people are already well established or have money to burn, whatever the case may be, and they're able to probably purchase a home when they start talking to you about it. So now we've lowered the potential reach to 65,000 people within a 40-mile radius of Las Vegas. So that is where you're probably going to find your sweet spot to be able to market that home to people. The other thing you can do too is if it's, for instance, a four-bedroom home, maybe it's a four-bedroom home or family home, right? You can say narrow further, and this will then give you people who not only are looking for a home, they're also in the top 25% of income earners. And hold on, you type in parent. Here we go. Parents with preteens or parents with children 3 to 5. So what I like to do is do 3 to 5. These are children years old. Parents with preschoolers 3 to 5. Um, Parents 6 to 8, and parents with toddlers, parents and new parents. So these are parents who have children who have just been born all the way up to 8 years old. That's typically someone who's looking to buy a four-bedroom home for their family with kids because they're trying to move out of an apartment, and that will limit it down to 8,100 people. So that really scales it down to showing your ad to the people who are looking for the home that you're offering. Now, if it's of course not a family that you know will probably buy the home, you can exit out of all that because there's no reason to market to them. Let's say you have an office building um, or a condo. You might want to type in entrepreneurship, um, small business. And this is behavior, small business owner, um, entrepreneur. You might want to find people who are interested, like you want to look at the numbers here too. So Creative Entrepreneurship has 62,000 size. Entrepreneur Magazine, 15 million. So you probably want to do Entrepreneur Magazine because they have an interest in that. And that'll bring your potential reach to 39,000. So these people are first-time home buyers, and you might at this point put in real estate here because they might, depending on what you're selling. But if you're selling, let's say, a condo, you can probably take first-time buyer out. Homes, Trulia, and Zillow will put you at 38,000, and household incomes, and then small business owner entrepreneur magazine entrepreneurship. And that should then scale it down to someone who is more business oriented, not family oriented, who would be interested in what you're offering. And then all you have to do is just create the audience by clicking create audience. So that's how you do it. And you're gonna have to play with these a little bit and find out how they work. And that's what we call split testing. So you're gonna try this one and then try that one. You're gonna adjust what interests and demographics and behaviors they have to see what works for you in your market, because every market's different, and also it changes. Honestly, it changes uh, every couple of months as people develop new habits and there's new websites and there's new interest. And you always want to go back and check what Facebook has available for you in interest here, because it constantly changes and is updated. Sometimes also you'll have, let's say, Trulia on there, and then one day Trulia will no longer be there. So you have to go back and check on a regular basis. Okay, so I hope that helps out, and best of luck.